Fame expensive, maybe we can speak about the price. When they talk about my name, know I define greatness. We couldn't rush a day, it took divine patience. Ain't nothing been the same, it's just my observation.
Okay, guys, I'm freaking live.
I done watched loyalty disintegrate, blowing in the wind, windows down on the interstate. I was confused, I always thought when the money came, sunny days, and all your problems just went away. Ain't nothing slow me down like when I had a Sprite. Sometimes it was, then it was like we was at the light. Ain't be that precise, you're not familiar with begging God to just bring my energy protected. I've been burning sage, follow how you feel it. You won't be led astray. I said it and I meant it. Don't know no other way. They ask me how I'm doing. I tell them I'm doing great. Cause if I really wasn't, could you help me? If I really wasn't, would you help? If I really wasn't.
I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. This is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge reporting. It'll be the Thunder off the tip. And what a matchup we have here in the front court, Greg.
Yeah, each of these teams are anchored by their big men. I think it's going to be physical and highly intensified.
It's very long, and SGA so effective around the hoop because of that length.
It's stolen by Dort. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his second basket.
Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Now, Gilgeous-Alexander following the Porzingis miss from deep. Pass to Hartenstein. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Here's Dort. Shot clock at 3. Williams. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
This guy can do so much for you on the offensive end, and that is why his number gets called time and time again.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Thunder off to a quick start here. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. I caught up with Coach Joe Mazzulla. We talked about the matchup problems that Chet Holmgren presents. He said defensively, Chet can warp the inside of the paint. And at the other end, he's going to drag his matchup out to the three-point line. That's what makes this 7-footer such a special player. Guys?
All right, thank you, David. You know, Doris, few teams have tried to invite Brown to be a shooter. He's punished them each and every time.
And he's had to put in the work, Kevin, to make himself a legit perimeter threat. And listen, the defense has to make choices. Athletically, this is one of the most gifted players in the league. If you're going to concede anything to Jalen, it'd probably be the three-point shot.
Well, Holiday, after Lou Dort's three-pointer that didn't go. Holiday up top to end the cold streak. A new 14 for Boston. Back to Tatum. Shoots the 3. And another miss by Boston. The Thunder leading by 8. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's sent back by White. Brown feeling it out a bit. Pass to Tatum. Brown outside. From deep. And it's White missing. Guys, they're on a really nice roll here.
Yeah, just haven't wasted any opportunities.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
Outside Tatum. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. There's the 3. The shot missing. Now Dort. Nothing on the board. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Dort. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And so it's Dort with it. He brings it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Makes it off the glass. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 6 points.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
I know it's early, but you have got to like the dominance down low. Right now, they are playing bully basketball.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He wants to talk to his guys. So it's Boston now. Nothing yet up on the scoreboard for them. Outside Tatum. Pass to Holiday. Over in the corner, Brown. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Tatum for 3. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
Jason Tatum has built such consistency from beyond the arc. Doesn't matter if there's a contest or not.
From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. The rebound by Holiday. Celtics trail by 7. Pass to Tatum. And there's the call on Lou Dort. That's his first foul. Both teams will make substitutions.
First team foul. Substitution on the court.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
Thunder ball.
The Thunder leading by 7. Doors, do you think the Oklahoma City Thunder has the best young core in the NBA?
Well, they are absolutely loaded with talent, Kevin. Not only that, they fit together. Now they've got a perennial MVP because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has inserted himself into the best player in the game conversation and a rising star in Chet Holmgren. Look out.
Now here is Horford. Holiday with the 3. Dort grabs the miss. And the Thunder with possession. Wallace goes in. And the jam by Wallace.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
Williams gets the bucket. Williams has got 6.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
And give them credit for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
Pass to Hartenstein. That one good for 2. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
And just a great job so far applying pressure defensively. The opposition is on their heels with the ball in their hand. Nightmares clamps thus far.
And so it's Boston with it, following the score by Oklahoma City. It's Dort on the wing from past the arc. It's good. He scores. That's
With Hall of Famers Grant Hill and Doris Burke, this is Brian Anderson, plus our reporter, Allie LaForce. Tip-off goes to the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. And he lays it up and in. Well, Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, B.A. And I get the sense that bragging rights are on the line here. Everything you can do, I can do better. Expect some exciting back-and-forth action in this one.
Puts it up. They get it again. To the paint. Pass to McDaniels. Over Williams. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough cover, guys.
And it's Gilgeous-Alexander on the drive. Outside, Williams. The shot's good.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
The shot by Conley, no good.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by McDaniels.
Extremely fortunate they didn't lose the ball there.
Timberwolves on D. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's good for two.
Yeah, teams will try to get physical with SGA, but make sure you understand that wiry frame is big-time strong.
Edwards looking it over. Outside Conley. Back to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. The three-pointer off the mark. Well, Doris, Chet Holmgren was one of the more highly touted guys coming into the league in a long time.
He was, B.A., and he has lived up to the billing. At that size, to be able to shoot the ball, put it on the deck, be a force at the rim defensively. But maybe his best attribute, he is a tough competitor.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, following the score by Minnesota. And Conley grabs the miss.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
Back to Daniels. And stolen by Hartenstein. Here's Williams. Randall with some nice D. The Timberwolves trail. To the middle. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. Lou Dort picks one up. There aren't many more dominant defenders in the NBA than Gobert.
Well, that's definitely fair to say, B.A., because his defense has an outsized influence on a game. The inside presence changes an opponent's game plan.
That's off as well, so he misses both.
What you love about Rudy Gobert is he understands his strengths and where he can impact the game. That is primarily on the defensive end, but also as a screen setter offensively.
And Minnesota with possession here after the basket by Oklahoma City. Pass to McDaniels. Here's Gobert. He's guarded by Hartenstein. Conley with the ball. And that one drops.
Hey, this guy is competitive, he's tough, and he'll play through contact. Mike Conley doing work inside.
And Mark Daigneault has called a timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Oklahoma City making a switch here. Thunder with a lead. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Chris Finch. Our topic was how he'll defend Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Coach was straightforward, saying Shai demands so much attention with the ball that he can warp a defense. We'll need to stay disciplined and not get caught watching the play. We'll see how that approach works out for them, guys.
Appreciate the report, Allie. And it's Randall with the jam.
Wow, excellent explosion off his feet by Julius Randle.
Robbed. 3-on-3. For three, Conley. Hartenstein pulls it in. Outside, Williams. And here's Dort. He's scoreless. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. 5 to shoot. And he finishes. That makes him 4 out of 5.
It's very long, and SGA so effective around the hoop because of that length.
And here's Edwards. Dort defending. Pushed it up the floor. Here comes Oklahoma City. A nice shot by Gilgeous-Alexander.
And this kind of play is only going to grow their lead, holding the other guys down on defense and converting on the turnover.
Knocks it loose. Gilgeous-Alexander with a steal. Here's Williams. And a missed layup. And so it's Conley who brings up the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They trail by 6. Gobert, no good. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Soft touch off the glass. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 12.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
This past offseason, OKC decided to move on from their former first-round pick, Josh Giddey.
Yeah, the 6th overall pick in 2021. Giddey is a talented player with good upside, but fit is so important in the NBA, and the Thunder knew his talents would be better suited elsewhere.
Here's Alexander Walker. Counted from distance.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Gilgeous-Alexander with the ball. And it's Gobert picking him up. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. It's rebounded by Minnesota.
Oh, gritty defense. Protecting the rim at all costs against a guy who has all sorts of ways to finish.
Boy, you've got to love when Mike Conley shoots it with confidence, goes to the catch-and-shoot game. All right, Mike.
Oklahoma City making a switch here. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Wiggins outside. This one for 3. McDaniels with the rebound.
Defense dodged a bullet that time. Total breakdown.
High post read. Inside. And stolen by Williams. Here's Wiggins. And he floats it in for the easy 2. Credit the sweet setup on that one. All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
I must say their defensive intensity has been impressive so far, really making it hard for the offense to hold on to the ball.
Now here's McDaniels. Here's DiVincenzo. Williams grabs the board.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
Wiggins outside. Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to Reed. Lets the 3 fly. Oklahoma City grabs a miss. Outside, Williams. Up and in on the layups. And now it's a 6-point Oklahoma City lead.
Well, so great when your offense produces a shot that close to the rim. The rest of the work becomes easier.
What a performance for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has been the story for Oklahoma City. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. And what do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
Well, their offense is clicking so far, capturing the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
And the Thunder making a change here.
Williams.
Fires from the wing. Reed with the rebound. Timberwolves trail by 6. And something that makes SGA so dangerous on offense, his elite drive and kick ability.
Yeah, you have to load towards him when he comes off a high pick. He just draws so much attention and can find another cutter or spot-up shooter. He has so much gravity to his game. That's just perfect execution. Nice job hustling, and as a result, he gets rewarded with the bucket.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Caruso outside. A chance to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Outside, DiVincenzo. Reed for three. After missing his first attempt, now 1 for 2.
I'll tell you, you are playing with fire anytime you leave this guy open, and they just got burned.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. McDaniels with the rebound. The Timberwolves trail. Pass to Clark. Now Reed. Just 5 on the clock. Outside, DiVincenzo. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. Oklahoma City making a switch here. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Pass to Clark. Gilgeous-Alexander with a steal. Here's Wiggins. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, Shea! Show inside.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Hey, Brian, the Thunder have some grit. Coach Mark Daigneault said we compete, and on nights we aren't, we get back to that very quickly. The competition level and the willingness to do it together is the foundational piece. Brian?
All right, Allie.
Coach is loving the ball movement.
Timberwolves trail by 9. Pass to Reed. Here's Dillingham. Outside McDaniels. Jacks up at 3. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
What was the defense thinking? I mean, that's the wrong guy to leave open.
Gilgeous-Alexander from outside. A big triple. Gilgeous-Alexander.
An example of the unique leadership of Gilgeous-Alexander, getting the 3 points right back for them.
And Chris Finch calls timeout here. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Some use the term stocks to add up steals and blocks.